right, you guys, welcome back to our Black History Makers series. Thank you so much for watching today. I am talking to the awesome sauce, Rhonda Reese. She is the owner of Stems and Stones. And I'm going to let her tell you what her business is about, what she does, and just introduce herself. So Rhonda Reese, talk to us, sister.
Hey, everybody. My name is Rhonda Reese. I go by Reese. I am actually the founder and CEO of Black Atlas Inc., but we are functioning and operating right now as Stems and Stone. So Stems and Stone is a plant and self-care boutique. We specialize in indoor tropical house plants, stones and crystals, succulent plants, as well as self-care tools. We also have an online subscription service where you can create and develop your own indoor jungle by getting a series of small plants or medium-sized plants given to you every month. We also have workshops and classes that we host at our brick and mortar space, which is located at 1500 Polaris Parkway on the lower level. How are you doing today, Stacey? I'm excited for this.
Awesome. I appreciate you. I am so excited about this because I remember when we first met and I was just like, okay, I love her to pieces. I love her. She's just like so amazing. So I'm so honored. I really am truly honored to have you interview on this series. I really am. So tell us a little bit. You've got plants. Now I've been to the store. So you've got plants, you've got the crystals. There's so much stuff there in the shop. And one of the things you and I were talking about at one point was how plants can be healing, and I know like crystals and all of that stuff can as well.
Absolutely.
Talk to us a little bit about that and how plants can benefit people, how they heal people. Give us a little information about that.
Awesome. Well, I'll start by saying, from my personal experience, when COVID hit last year, I was one of the people out there that lost their job and their daycare closed and all kinds of things started going awry. I knew that I was going to need something to help me stay grounded, and to also kind of help me deal with, the emotional, the stress, all of the things that were going to come along with what was happening in the world. And so I know that it's becoming more of a trend now that a lot of psychologists and therapists are subscribing plants to their patients. And the reason why they do that is because not only do they have the physical support that we need as far as like helping you breathe better, detoxifying the air, creating beautiful spaces in your home, they also help you with some of your emotional balancing. So it gives you positive habits. It gives you a good practice that you can practice, every day or weekly. They also help you to focus better. Plants stimulate your creativity. They also help you sleep better as well. And so I went ahead and I went for it. I've always loved plants. I grew up with my grandmother. She's pretty much a master gardener. I mean, she didn't go to school for it, but my grandmother kept some of the most beautiful flowers all around her home and bushes and things. My mom actually had a vegetable garden in our backyard when growing up as a kid. And so I'm not foreign to like plant life. I've always known that it's very important for us to keep plants in our home. So when I, started dealing with the pandemic stuff, and just like a lot of other people did, we were also trapped inside for a while. Yeah. And I think it was a strong desire for a lot of us to bring the outside in. And I think that's why a lot of people gravitated towards gardening and plants. Yeah. And so the experience that I had personally is really what sparked me to start Stems and Stone.
Gotcha. So are there any specific plants, because you talked about how, plants actually can help with oxygen and breathing and all that other kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Are there any specific plants that you recommend? So if people have certain ailments or something of that nature, are there any plants that are specific to assisting with those things?
Absolutely. As far as like detoxifying the air and creating oxygen, all plants will do that for you. But the most commonly known ones, or the ones that I guess you could say have more impact or punch, would be like the Sansevieria, which is snake plant, or mother-in-law's tongue is a popular name for it too. Most plants will probably have about 2, 3, 4 different names. I'm not going to lie, but I try to keep it real simple. there's probably some horticulturalist or master gardener out there like, oh my gosh, cringing sometimes when I talk about plants, but I'm not that level. I am a plant enthusiast and I love them. But anyway, snake plants, Sansevieria is one of the most common one. The other one that is really popular even in our store is the crispy wave fern. When they package that bad boy up and they ship it out, like it has sticks and tags on it that tells you like this will purify the air for you.
Wow.
Other ones that are really good are like spider plants, pothos plants, which is also known as a devil's ivy, which is the one I call it everybody's auntie, sister, cousin, auntie, mama, grandma got this plant. Okay. And you know the one I'm talking about. It's the one that trails
Yeah.
down. Everybody cuts and takes pieces from their mom's plant because I know I took from my
Right. Yes. My mother had,
so,
she had one too, and it was
yes,
like all over the house. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna eat
yes.
this.
Yeah, so those are usually the ones that I recommend to people. Bamboo is also really good for purifying the air as well.
Really?
And so those are usually my top 4 that I recommend to people. And we carry all those in stores. So
Wow. I didn't know that about bamboo.
yes.
I have a bamboo plant that a client gave me after we sold their house, and it just looked so cute. I like the way bamboo looks. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, thank you so much. And I didn't know that. And we have it in our bedroom, and it just keeps it's I mean, it's like we've let like all the water go out and it's still
Uh-huh.
like living. So
Bamboo is like the plant that will keep giving it to you. I'm not gonna lie. And they actually can live in natural and fluorescent light. So that's a really good one. Yeah, I like that one a lot too.
gotcha. So talk to us a little bit about the store itself. It's in Polaris.
Yes,
And
yes.
tell us that I want people to hear the story about how that happened. Are you willing to share that?
Sure. Yeah. So I can't really tell it without kind of giving a little bit of the backdrop of like
Yeah.
how we progressed to that. Because I guess the term that we use nowadays as far as business is like scaling. And so from concept to putting everything into action to us getting into the store now, we Stems and Stones scaled very, very quickly, and it's continuing to grow. I've had to hit the brakes a little bit on a few things, but anyhow, so I started last May-ish with the concept. I did my homework. I had actually been looking at subscription services for a little while, and I was just trying to figure out which one I would want to really go with. So long story short, pandemic hit, plants were the thing. And I was like, okay, I want to not only start a business, but I want to be able to share my experience with people. And so I put up a post to let people know, hey, I'm going to do this plant subscription. Let me know if you want to get in. Started with maybe 5 or 6 orders from people. And then I posted it in the Columbus Black owned business page, and it's skyrocketed. I mean, like 72 hours, it went from 5, 6 people to hundreds of people. And I was like, oh my God, what am I about to do? And so I literally went from thinking I was about to hand deliver all of these plants to people to having to set up in my friend's driveway through her garage. So me and my kids got in the caravan. I rented a cargo van. We went to the nursery, picked up about 300 something odd plants, set up shop, bag, box, tagged, got it all together, and got all the plants out. Thank God I had 2 really good people come out and help out. Actually, I wanted to give a shout out to Tamika White, Angel Smoot, and Cynthia Johnson, because those ladies, they stepped in and was like, what do you need? How can we help you? And we got it done. So from there, we went ahead and I started doing outdoor activities and events. So I was doing something called Self-Care Sunday, and it was pretty much a potting session and a self-care session where we talked about how we're dealing with COVID, how we're dealing with taking care of ourselves, how we're showing ourselves love and taking care of our families and stuff while we're dealing with the pandemic. And that happened at Blackwood Woods in the Meadows areas several Sundays throughout the summer. I also did some vending, had a article in the Columbus Underground. The buzz started, circulating as far as like what I was doing in my events. Now from there, one day I'm literally standing in the parking lot at Kroger talking to my sister because I ran into her that day, and I get this ping on my phone from an email, and I'm like, oh, Polaris emailed me. Okay, cool. I was like, okay, I know they do the co-hatch thing in a little marketplace inside of the mall. So I'm like, oh, this is cute. Let me put this down. I might be able to do this. And so I go home a couple of days later, and then I see a couple of days later, I opened up the email and I read it and was like, oh my God, like they don't just want me to do a pop-up. This is an invitation to open a store in the mall. And I was like, Oh my God. And
There is
so
mall.
that's where we
Big
landed.
mall.
Say it again.
I said, not just any mall, Polaris.
Polaris. Yeah, Polaris. And I was like, holy cow, this is happening. Like I went home and I freaked out a little bit. I called like my uncle. He's like one of my go-to people. Called a couple of my girlfriends, and everybody was like, "Do it." And I'm like, "How? How? Like I don't even know how I'm about to do this." And so, by the grace of God, I put it all to divinity. Like I give thanks daily to the Most High that we were able to go from popping up shop, with my little greenhouse and 2 6-foot tables and a tent over the summer to creating this mastermind plan to open up a 3,000 square foot store, like 2 doors down from Coach and right across from Bath and Body Works. Like my neighbor is Abercrombie and Fitch. And I'm just like, I don't know how this happened, but it did. I also want to say thank you to you, Stacey, because you have played a huge role in getting the store started as well with 3 Elements Design Group, with providing us with our beautiful furniture in the front of our store. So thank you so much for that.
Oh, you are so very welcome. Well, I wanted people to hear that story because a lot of people that are watching this may be business owners already. They may be new business owners, and they may be thinking about starting a business. And your
Mhm.
story to me is one that gives so much encouragement, right? Because you did some things that a lot of people don't do, and that's do it afraid, right?
I was
And that's one thing
terrified.
my business coach, I've had 2 business coaches, and they have said to me, and even my mentors have said, just do it afraid. It doesn't need to be perfect, just do it. And I'm a recovering perfectionist, but you did it afraid, and
Yes,
you started before you were really, really, really ready. And they
I
always say
did.
that too, right? And you
I
did.
did.
So
Yeah.
I think that's an encouragement, right? For people who they if you had to say something to someone who wants to start a business but they don't know what to do, right? Just knowing your story, what would you say? What encouraging words would you give to someone?
I am going to share something that I heard a couple of weeks ago. Actually, I like to catch the whole, business advice and wisdom from a lot of like successful people. And I feel so bad because I can't remember the name of the gentleman that said it, but his words were shoot, ready, aim.
Hmm.
And I feel like that was the epitome of my experience. And you know how they say stay ready so you don't have to get ready type of
Yeah.
situation. That's literally what I experienced. It took all of the skills, all of the past work experience, all of my hobbies, all of my, love to do things, all of my business aspirations and goals, all of those things I was able to literally just pull out the bag and throw it on the table.
Yeah.
I think I shared this with you, Stacey. I set a 30-day goal, like from keys to opening was roughly 45 days.
Yeah.
And we did a crowdfunding campaign that lasted about 30 days. We didn't even reach our goal, but that's why I say I chalk it up to divinity, because I was not necessarily ready to do what I was doing, but because I put my foot to the pedal, and I was just like, we're going to go. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And it worked. And it's still working. So I'm super excited. So if any word of advice, I would say get ready, stay ready so you don't have to get ready, which means having your plan, what you want, know what it is that you're looking for, know what it is that you want, not just for a particular project, but just know what you want for your life, know what type of business owner and CEO you want to be,
Yeah.
know what your goals are as far as your personal life and your business life, know how much money you want to make. I learned that from Cooper Sykes. Like, know how much money you want to make, know how many goals you want to have, know how many projects you want to take on, and then know your boundaries.
Right.
I recently did a talk with a Washington Prime group on self-care for business owners. And I would say as well, make sure that you take care of yourself, because it is super important as business owners.
Yeah.
And that's actually what the store is about. It's about self-care. We're incorporating plants, self-care tools, and providing a safe space for people to be able to find that tranquility, be able to take that home with them and continue to take care of themselves.
Yeah. So real quick in our last few minutes, tell us a little bit about the like I said, I've been in the store and I love the store. And I remember the first time I walked in there, you know what I said to you. I felt so at peace.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even together. There wasn't even like a whole lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, it was still light.
Yeah. But it just the whole aura and the whole environment. And I'm just so proud of you because this series, which is, this particular show is actually airing a little bit after. It's my extended Black History Maker series because you are a Black History Maker. But for you to be a young Black woman with a store like this in Polaris, which is predominantly a white community, right?
Yeah, it is.
That's
Yeah, it
amazing,
is.
and that's nothing but God. But tell people about your, like you said that you have classes. When are your classes?
Mhm.
And then when, like, you have classes for potting, and what exactly do your classes include? What do you teach people?
Okay, so as far as the workshops, they will be running usually Thursday and Friday. We may have some on Saturdays, and then we'll have some things going on Sunday. I really want to get back to doing our self-care Sunday workshop series, but usually it's a variety of things. Actually, we are going to start doing potting sessions once the weather starts to make it shift, because it's not really good to repot and kind of fiddle with your plants during the winter time. But outside of potting sessions, we're going to do things like candle making, macrame basket making. We're going to paint on pots and canvas, and so we're incorporating, some of that paint and sip vibe. We're going to be sipping tea though, because we partner with the Spice and Tea Exchange, which is across the hall. We're just gonna get really creative. We're gonna incorporate like art and plants and self-care tools. I want to do it's like beauty and wellness classes, teaching people how to like make their own facial mask and clay. So it's not just about plants, it's about plants and loving on yourself. But we are gonna get a little heavy on the plants. So
Okay, awesome. So if people want to reach you, what's the best way that they can reach you?
So you can email me always at stemsandstone@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Stems and Stone. And I want to be clear, Stems is plural, STEMS. AND, Stone is singular, STONE. You can find out more information about our plant subscription service, which is on our website, stemsandstone.com. We have 2 tiers of our subscription service right now. We did have 3, the Jungle Starter, the Plant Parent, and the OG Hortiboss. We pulled the OG because we don't have a large variety of exotics during the winter time. So that'll be back hopefully late spring, early summer. And then we're also looking at doing a cacti and succulent subscription as well for all of you succulent and cacti lovers. So I'm excited.
That'd be me, because I like succulents.
I have a whole lot. We're talking about doing a succulent bar down in the pop-up space over by Apple in the mall. So I'll keep you posted on when we get on the schedule.
Nice. Okay. Well, I love you.
I love you too. Thank you so much.
I love you. You guys, check her out. We will have all of her information in the description. Thank you again for watching, and you guys will see you on the next one.